Tonight, sorry Met fans, but you have to indulge me. Derek Jeter has walked away from his final home game without disappointing the Yankee fandom. The stadium, packed as Mr. November, walked off with a perfect ending to a storybook career. We will have a look at some of the highlights from an iconic game. And we will head to South Carolina, where a police officer is out of work after firing shots at an unarmed man. We've seen similar scenarios play out countless times seemingly across this country, but this one seems to have gotten everybody's attention. Plus, one mayor, Bill de Blasio, is in fact top advisor. He is reportedly dating a convicted felon who has a few choice words for the police. Could this cause trouble in paradise for the mayor's administration? Good evening and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to begin where else but at Yankee Stadium, where Derek Jeter, he graced the field for the last time in his last home game. By now, everybody has seen or heard about the really surreal scene at the stadium last night. It was a fitting end to a really storybook career. In the first inning, Derek Jeter hit a double off halfway up the wall in left center. Looked like it was going to be a home run, but still, he got an RBI and he scored soon thereafter. After another RBI in the middle of the game here, in the ninth inning, a surprise turn of events. The Yankees up 5-2, but the Orioles, not once, not twice, but they plated 3 runs, including off of 2 bombs here. So the Yankees blew a 3-run lead, and the narrative of the big goodbye seemed to be in question. But then came the bottom of the ninth.
Meek deals. Base hits to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw from Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality.
So, as the script really commanded here, he'd get up in the ninth, and as you just saw, hit the first pitch, went the other way like he's done thousands of times in his career, and he is the man of the hour. And everybody close to him, whether it be through the 20 years of his career or has followed him or has managed him or as anyone else, even the opponents on the other side of the field said it kind of had to end this way. And usually the very reserved, some would say shut off Derek Jeter, he probably revealed more of himself last night after the game than for fans who followed him for 20 years.
Well, I guess if I had to say one thing, it's the Yankee fans. You know, Yankee fans have what made this special for me. You know, they've been there, they've been supportive. You know, they're tough, which I think brought out the best in me over my career, and they're the ones that made this all special, and it wouldn't have been a career that I've had without them.
All right. Again, if you're a Met fan, indulge me. We're almost done here. Just got to do one segment. We talked about this last night. Let's bring it to our panel. Shelley Mayer, Democratic New York State Assemblywoman representing the fantastic city of Yonkers. Michael Tobin, Democratic political consultant. Andrew Whitman, senior political correspondent. And listen, sports certainly has many problems. We've seen the bad headlines that have been attached to it, from domestic violence, steroids, cheating, all sorts of negative attachments to it. But on occasion, it has the ability to inspire or to really have one of those kind of finishes to a regular season game. Let's be honest, they're not going to the playoffs, and Andrew, his Orioles are, and all that true. But there was that final moment, a capstone to a career that we really haven't seen, certainly in a generation. 20 years of a guy who's kept his nose out of trouble, won a lot, did it the right way. And it was, I don't know, Shelley, I always go by the people who aren't big fans. My wife, who really couldn't care less about the Yankees, she wouldn't let me change the channel from the 8th inning on because she wanted to see how the thing played out. And she even said, oh my gosh, you know, should we wake the kids up? And I'm like, no, you know, but nonetheless, it was really that, you know, you don't get too many of those.
Well, I had a similar, I was at another event and driving home and I heard it on the radio. And I also am not a big baseball fan, but I came home, I said to my husband, you will not believe what just happened. There was a certain something special about it. And, you know, people talked about it all day today. All day today, they were just so thrilled, really excited.
And you know, Michael, I've heard from a lot of Met fans who have always had this chip that the Yankees, Yankee this, Yankee that, but everybody acknowledged, you know what, if somebody's going to get it, let it be this guy. He seemed to do it the right way. And as I said, it's with so many bruises that this sport has and really sports overall has had lately. It's nice to have at least respite.
It was nice to see something positive and not just about NFL or upcoming NBA craziness. I am one of those long-suffering Met fans with a chip on his shoulder of Yankee this, Yankee that. But this was great for New York.
Yeah.
It was great. If you went by what was on social media last night, there was nothing else going on in the world between Twitter and Facebook than this game. So it was great to see. Again, I'm no baseball fan really, and what I do enjoy, I enjoy the Mets. But this was great.
You got to admit, Andrew, it was a heck of a close.
It was. I mean, I'm not only a long-suffering Mets fan, but also an Orioles fan, and Jeter hit the home run in '97 that shouldn't have been. And the way I looked at it, I mean, first of all, it was amazing, and I was very proud of the Orioles for having tied up the game in the ninth inning to set up this storybook
and they were
finale.
classy afterwards as well.
Absolutely, and so was Jeter, congratulating the Orioles on going to the playoffs. When the Orioles tied the game but didn't take the lead in the top of the ninth, I knew.
Yeah, you kind of did, didn't
because
you?
Jeter was up third in the bottom of the ninth for the Yankees. Look, Derek Jeter has broken Oriole hearts so many times over so many years.
He's broken a lot of hearts.
Well, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. But specifically the pain. And I lived in Baltimore in '97 when that home run was hit. So, like the Orioles themselves, you tip your cap to him. It's fitting in some ways that he did it in this style and that he did it against the Orioles. And my thought after I turned the TV off last night was, this book is now closed, and a new book opens, and hopefully it's a better book for my baseball team. But a great story for baseball in general.
Had a job, didn't he? So, Michael, without getting too, deep or mythic on this thing, it is a game. However, and I've heard other people talk about this from previous generations, people who grew up with Mantle, DiMaggio, whoever the case may be. For 20 years, it's a chapter of everybody's life. Not that you live and die through the baseball, but you go through your own challenges. You go through your own families, or through passings, through whatever else. And there are very few constants. And for me, baseball is always background music. You go home, you have dinner, you can have it on the back, you don't even have the audio on. And the same guy went out to shortstop for the last 20 years. And that's done now. The whole group that it came with is all gone for the Yankees, and something else will be there. It'll be a little different, but it was an interesting end. And I heard from a lot of people who said similar kind of things, and they remembered where they were for that, or they remembered where they were on the flip play, or they remembered where he dove in the stands against the Red Sox that night. They remember when he hit the home run against the Mets in the World Series. They remember a lot of different parts, and it's not just because of the Yankees, because of where they were. And when we see those kind of changes, I think it kind of takes a little resonance for people in different ways. All right. Thank you guys for indulging. All right, when we come back, there was a stunning scene out of South Carolina. A police stop and a shooting, but more and more people have said this, and you're going to see the whole thing and the dialogue, too, that was attached to it. This confirms some of the worst suspicions that we have a big problem in this country here, and it's a long time that we've had an overdue conversation about it. We'll talk about that after this.